So I've come to Bologna for just a few hours before I journey back to Rome and then fly back to England. Let's see what this fabulous city has to offer. So here I am in this massive piazza, the main square of Bologna, in front of the cathedral. Behind me, just here, you can see it. And this is meant to be the city of so many towers. I think there were once 15 or so, and now there are 3 or 4, but that's enough towers for any man, I should think. Let's go and have a look around, and we're going to start off by going in the cathedral, because it's such a massive church and I can't resist going inside. Basilica of San Pietrino. And that has got to be the biggest pulpit I've seen in my life. Absolutely huge. There is too some kind of dating system calendar on the floor. My guess is that this is to calculate the dating of Easter. I could be wrong. I've done zero research into this video, so you'll have to do some yourself. Beautiful frescoes on the wall just over here. I'm expecting that these are late medieval, Renaissance type period. You can probably just see them on the camera there. Anyway, time to go see those twin towers. So here they are, right behind me, hopefully you can see. In the glinting sun, the 2 towers. I've got no idea if they inspired Tolkien, but they certainly look like they did. And you can see one on the left particularly leaning hugely over to the side. So I got that wrong earlier. Bologna used to have over 50 towers and now has about 20, but I think 20 is probably good enough. We're not going to complain about that. Anyway, I'm going to go have a sit down and a coffee and admire these 2 beauteous medieval buildings. So I don't think there's a more civilised place to have coffee than next to 2 medieval towers, and bonus material here because both of these towers are quite clearly leaning. You can see from here now. The guidebook said the same, but now I believe it. Look at that, fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy this and you can enjoy learning more about Bologna. I've got some educational material to this video. See you in a minute. Now sadly the tower that you can go up is shut until 12, so I'm not going to be able to do it anyway, and a good excuse to come back. But what I am going to go to next is a fantastic music museum. Bologna is, among one of the many things it's famous for, it's famous for its contribution to the history of music. And so this museum apparently has got one of the world's largest collections of medieval instruments, Renaissance instruments too. So I will certainly enjoy that. Let's go there. Going to stop here for a minute to admire the architecture. Have a look at this. Looks like wooden medieval scaffolding here. Is that the museum? I don't believe it is. Anyway, I don't know where I'm going. I'm following the road. I'm sure the music will lead me there eventually. Ah, here it is. I found it. Look. And on the sign they've got an old medieval horn blowing in the wind. Already looks excellent. Let's go inside. Going up these wonderful stairs now. Have a look at this. You can tell I'm excited, but I think here they have such a splendid collection of old medieval instruments that we often hear on the recordings, but not really see very often in real life, apart from my own violin, of course, which cost a lot of money to have repaired when it got a hole in it. So this collection is set up by a librarian and a collector of music called Friar Giambattista Martini. And here, well, it's already marvellous, we've only just got inside, but there's a collection of scores including one that's autographed by none other than Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So have a look at this. The man's own hand. Absolutely fantastic. The viola da gamba, one of the precursors of the string family with the cello and the violin, etc. Not sure what this big long one is. It says it is a tromba marina. I've never even seen one of those, but I bet it sounds good. So another thing I've just learned about this monk is that he never actually left Bologna. Everyone came to him. And so while he was busy collecting the history of the music of his age in the late 1700s, he had visits from Gluck, the composer I just mentioned, one of the relatives of Bach. I can't recall which one from the bit I just read. But what a mastermind, having people come to him from all over Europe. There's one other composer I recognise from here, which is Jacques Arcadet, who was a composer of madrigals of this period. Now, I do know some Italian madrigals from university days. What are they? I'm sure that's the wrong pronunciation, but Italy was pretty much renowned for its madrigals. Singing. Okay, on to the next room. And the next room brings even more joys. We've got a manuscript by Pergolesi, another great composer of the 16th century. And then over on the wall here, the lady at the door assures me that this is probably the most famous original painting of Antonio Vivaldi, master of violin, the Red Priest, whose music we know only too well through the Four Seasons, but massive composer of, I think it was over 150 different concerti he wrote in his lifetime. I'm sure in my lifetime I've maybe played all of them in some capacity, in different levels of ability, but there we go, here is the master. Now in line with the Red Priest, we've got a red room. What other manuscripts can we find here? Some opera and a letter by Giuseppe Verdi just over here. Fantastic, look at this. Signed Bologna. Well, we definitely know this one. Here it is, the Barber of Seville. Figaro, 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 Figaro. You know that one, it's a good one to sing. I don't think it's open to that page though. Can we make out the words? Ah, che bel invive, che bel piacere. Oh, perhaps it is. It is on that. La 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 la. Ah, che bel piacere, che bel piacere, che bel piacere. Di qualità, di qualità. Look at that, we're reading the manuscript. They got it open to the right page, that's brilliant. What an excellent museum. So next on the list I'm going to make my way to Bologna University, apparently the oldest in the world, and we'll talk a bit about Umberto Eco, who used to teach there and whose books I absolutely love and you should read too. So I'll see you over there. Right, you're going to have to give me just a minute here because we're at the university, which is spread around this part of town. Here's the Department of Sciences, it's like engineering and neurology. But it'd be nice to have somewhere to sit and to tell you about Umberto Eco and his books. So let me do that and give me a minute to find somewhere suitable. Trash party sound wave, no idea what that is, but it sounds interesting. Right, there's a piazza up here, let's go and have a sit down here and talk about Umberto Eco. We're in Piazza Giuseppe Verdi, and there's booksellers, there's coffee, there's a university. What more could you want? Let's find somewhere to sit down. or I can walk through these colonnades. It's just as good. So let's talk about Umberto Eco, shall we? So the most famous book that he's written is called The Name of the Rose, which is about two monks that go into a monastery. It's around about the 1300s, I think, and they have to investigate a murder there. But the book, as with most of Eco's novels, incorporates philosophy, history, magic, superstition, spiritualism, religion, just about everything there possibly is. So if you're into any of those things, you must be into one of them, then have a read of that. Another very good one, if you're into sciencey fiction, is The Island of the Day Before, which is about the working out of longitude. And the story is that some Italian guy gets shipwrecked on an island which he doesn't know where it is, but it straddles one of the meridians, and so it's the island of the day before. My personal favourite though, is a book called Baldolino, which is about the third and the fourth crusade. So a German knight in the court of Frederick Barbarossa goes off to the east on the third crusade, and then he kind of gets lost. The crusade falters, and he ends up trying to find the kingdom of Prester John, which is this mythological kingdom that people believed in. A lot of people believed in the Middle Ages, this Christian king that was living far off in the east, or some say in the south, round about where Ethiopia currently is, because according to church history, Ethiopia became the oldest group of Christians as far as we know, basically, with their Coptic language. They developed their own church separately south of Egypt. Anyway, it's a good book because it takes into account spiritualism, religion, magic, all those things, as well as being a good history book. And the whole book is narrated. The protagonist is telling his story to the chronicler Nicetas Choniates after the fall of Constantinople in 1204. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does. Anyway, good author, brilliant place. No wonder he was inspired to write about the Middle Ages so much, given that he worked and grew up. I think he didn't grow up here, but he grew up around here and worked here for most of his life. Umberto Eco, who was professor of semiotics, the study of language and symbols, here at Bologna University. A bit of music here to finish off our journey in Bologna. Sounds lovely, thank you very much. Grazie. Grazie. Oh, brilliant. So it's only been a few hours in this magical city, but I could spend a good many more getting lost here. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll see you for an extended video soon coming up on Mr. Keat on location, but it will take me a bit to edit. It's going to be on the last of the Romans, tracing the journey of the Roman Empire from its capital in Rome to its new capital under Byzantium in Ravenna. So I'll see you then. Grazie. Ciao, I should say. Ciao.